Well, the Ranger Uranium Mine has been both lucrative and controversial. A key exporter for 3 decades, it's also been beset by a litany of environmental problems. Last month, ERA shocked the market, announcing it was mothballing the mine for now. Its major shareholder, Rio Tinto, wants the mine wound up for good and the site rehabilitated. But a cash-strapped ERA is making no guarantees. Jane Barden reports from the mining town of Jabiru.
At its peak, the Northern Territory's Ranger Mine was supplying 10% of the world's yellowcake to Japan, Europe and the US. But the profitability of the Energy Resources of Australia operation surrounded by Kakadu National Park took a hit when the Fukushima disaster smashed the uranium price.
We saw it collapse from about the mid-$60 when Fukushima happened back in 2011, and it basically hasn't from that time really recovered.
In the mine's heyday, the uranium price was nearly $140 a pound. It's now plummeted to $35 a pound. Over the last decade, ERA reaped $700 million in profit, but it's lost that amount in the last 4 years. The miner has also constantly struggled with bad PR about a catalogue of environmental problems. They've included a spill of 1 million litres of uranium and acid on site in 2013.
Ranger's had a number of very major incidences where there's been significant failures in their processes and their systems.
With its open pit exhausted after 30 years of mining, in 2012 ERA started planning to extend the mine underground in a project called Three Deeps. Last month it mothballed that plan for now, blaming the lack of an agreement with Indigenous traditional owners for mining until 2021 and continued low uranium prices.
And unfortunately we can't really see any upside for the commodity in the near term to medium term.
Despite that, ERA has asked the mine's traditional owners to keep the door open.
Whether ERA acknowledges they're in a wind-up phase, I'm not sure. Whether they all properly acknowledge that, but they're in it.
While traditional owners have ruled out any mining at the nearby Jabiluka uranium deposit, they haven't ruled out further mining at Ranger.
I don't want to canvass anything publicly.
The key concern of Ranger's Mirror Indigenous traditional owners is whether ERA will have sufficient cash to rehabilitate the mine site. That's despite ERA's major shareholder Rio Tinto offering it a conditional credit facility to help fund rehabilitation.
The planning in terms of rehabilitation has been delayed. And all of it because people are living down the bottom of the garden with the fairies still, living the dream.
ERA estimates rehabilitation will cost about $500 million. Rio Tinto will only loan ERA an estimated $150 million shortfall in the funds it has available for rehabilitation, providing ERA drops the Three Deeps project. But traditional owners won't negotiate further without guarantees Ranger will be completely rehabilitated. Both the Northern Territory and federal government have accepted from both companies that there is a rehabilitation guarantee.
I'm totally satisfied that ERA intend to rehabilitate that mine site, and their parent company, Rio Tinto, has also given commitments to see that site rehabilitated.
They've both collectively allowed the company to argue that just having a small fraction of the rehab money set aside, I think that's an unacceptable approach.
In Ranger support town Jabiru, small businesses dependent on mine workers expect the worst.
Most people tend to think that 2021 is going to be the end.
They hope there could be increases in off-peak Kakadu tourism, but many fear only a sudden spike in the uranium price could save the mine and the town.
With the government, if they have the possibility to talk to Rio Tinto to get deals done, I don't know, with India or somewhere to buy uranium.
While ERA maintains it wants to revisit the Three Deeps project economics over time, analysts say it doesn't stack up at the moment.
They would probably need to see quite a significant move in the uranium price, probably in the $60 to $70 range.
These are the end days of the Ranger operation, and people need to plan for it.
And while ERA sees an upside for nuclear, the company will still have considerable difficulty convincing stakeholders the Ranger mine has a future.